Well, hey everybody, it's your good buddy 650 here, coming to you from the Moto Million headquarters in Miami, Florida, because we have an epic and special video for you today. You might notice my beautiful 2023 BMW M1000 RR on the bench back there, but you may not see Zach the Master Mechanic. In his place today is Manny from Moto Million, and he's going to install some amazing parts onto that beautiful machine, so keep watching. Manny, as you can see, I'm super excited. I don't know if it's because I just had a Klondike bar or this beautiful weather we're experiencing, or because this machine is no longer going to look like a stock M1000 RR like your machine looks right over there. What the heck are we going to do today?
I think we're putting an aero exhaust,
Okay.
a full titanium competition model.
Nice.
We're gonna get rid of your fender.
Yes.
So that's not stock, that has the fender eliminator on
Oh,
it.
it does. It has the new rate cycle. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Awesome.
That's the first thing I did. I don't know. Let's see after that where the road takes us. I think maybe we'll do your lever guards.
Okay, yeah.
Time permitting, we'll see. I think we might do the 520 conversion kit, get rid of that heavy endurance chain that it has.
That'll be nice.
I don't know if anyone cares about that.
Well, people mention to me all the time, Manny, that the endurance chain is supposedly cool because it's low maintenance, doesn't require a bunch of oil and all that stuff, and it could last a quote-unquote lifetime. What are your thoughts on that?
I don't know.
Okay, he's being very politically correct
Yes.
this evening, and I love it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hey, I think it's just heavy.
Uh-huh.
And if you want something low maintenance, why are you buying a super bike?
There you go.
That's the whole thing.
Well said.
Actually, they're not high maintenance.
Yeah.
They actually are not, especially the BMWs.
Yes.
But to me, it's, yeah, I guess for someone who doesn't want to do the maintenance, but these bikes go to the dealership quite often for their oil changes and stuff, and they maintain your chain and all that stuff for you.
Yes.
And all these modern chains, nothing stretches that much anymore unless you're using probably something that you shouldn't be using.
Yes.
But everything that, like the EK3D chains or some
Those
of the
are
other,
my favorite, by the way. I love those chains.
I think they're the best looking chains. And for the people who ask why we use those things all the time,
Yes.
because you do read these comments once in a while. So I don't know if this bike has a 520 or 525 from the factory.
Yeah.
But most super bikes used to come with 525s, and people are like, oh, you're compromising with the 520 chain. Then the Mighty V4R came out in 2019, had a 520 chain. So that was the answer to everyone, that if you put the right stuff on there, you don't have to worry about, is it gonna sustain the power these things are putting out now?
Correct.
So a little info, the 520 EK3D chains, at least at the time that they came out, they were one of the only 520 chains that had the tensile strength rating that was higher than the 525 stock chains that were on these bikes.
Wow, higher. That's nice.
Yes, so technically you weren't compromising.
No.
It was lighter, it looked a lot cooler.
Absolutely.
And hey, it's the best of both worlds, right? But let's get on to this.
Yes.
Let's start stripping this bike apart. I think we have a couple of special guests around too. Maybe they'll make an appearance. They'll make up with us after the shenanigans we had here last night about 7 hours of work on one bike and another bike. But let's get to it, let's get it done, and let's make some noise maybe indoors.
You got it.
Something is still holding here. Oh, there's one bolt here. So Eve, after what we installed yesterday, we installed a subframe on my SP2, the carbon subframe.
Yes.
And I had to have the bike half dismantled because of the oil pan that we had to reseal that was leaking. This is refreshing.
Right.
How many minutes has it been? 5 minutes? We already have the side panel off.
Yes.
I got 2 of your headers loose.
Yep.
These bolts are loose already here, guys. And the other side is going to be loose once Hector and Michael gets that side panel off. And I don't know, within the next 20 minutes, this exhaust is going to be off this bike.
Wow, a lot more quickly than with the Panigale.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. So it's at least it's easy to work on.
Yeah.
But the Ducati tried to help you from the factory. It leaves some bolts, loose, so you don't need to loosen up.
No, that's the drag clutch sound that it gives it.
Oh, okay.
Eve, I can't believe we rode this bike without radiator guard.
Yeah.
Look at this. How many miles are on the 600?
600 miles. It's already banged up.
What's to tell you, and it's most likely because of the tires too. All these bikes come with very sticky tires.
Nice actually.
And they're once to blame. Obviously they're rocks too. But I guess we could take care of that right now too.
Okay. There you go. Out.
That's an M1000 exhaust. It is titanium from the factory, and it's a Krapovich unit, but it's not light and it's not optimized for power. There we go, guys. We have our M1000 RR exhaust system out in record time, thanks to Michael Knight and Hector.
Yes.
This is going to weigh in at, we have our servo motor here too. That's a lot lighter than I thought. 17.8 pounds. You want to make sure this is sitting free. 17.9. Is it going to be 18? Nope, 17.9. Let's try this again. 0.
17.8.
So guys, we're going to be using this beautiful Aero exhaust system. We get questions from you guys. I read the comments on Eve's comments. We get phone calls, emails from you guys asking about the exhaust systems that we offer. It is often a question about who is Aero and what is Aero. Disclaimer, I'm not incentivized by anybody or any brand. I pick and choose, and we pick and choose at Motor Million. We curate the parts that we sell you. And I think that's our motto here, not to be influenced, at least by manufacturers. We don't get any incentives, trust me. We don't get the parts for free. We don't get paid to come and tell you guys stuff. You know, I'm not an influencer. Let's put it that way. I'm an enthusiast who likes to put really cool stuff on his motorcycle. This is not mine, I have one too. I have yet to put an exhaust on it. But so we get questions about the exhaust system. Everyone knows the Krapovich because they've done a really good job on promoting their brand. And we all know what a great brand it is, and they do some really, really cool stuff. But Aero used to be really popular back in the day, and I think the popularity kind of died down because they shifted probably some of their focus into automobiles and OEM production. Just to give you guys an idea, Aero makes the exhaust on Pagani automobiles. They're a couple $1 million above my pay grade, but that gives you the clout, I guess, let's say, or the street cred of Aero, of how good they are. And if you guys remember the Pagani Zonda when it first came out, that car shocked the whole world. And one of the really cool features was that blue titanium exhaust, and it was built by Aero. And even now all the new models that they have are made by Aero, and if you pop on their website, you'll see their logo. But again, this is not an Aero commercial. We pick and choose this exhaust because we really like the sound. If you guys watch 650 Eve's build series with the HBX, that had this Aero exhaust, and when we put that exhaust on, Michael and I took it for a ride around. We could hear him far, far away. It wasn't that it was loud. I think, I'm not gonna lie, it's a loud exhaust system, but the sound it made was so different from anything we've heard on these BMWs. I was sold. At that point, I was like, you know, it's great. And then the bike went on the dyno. I think it went to Brendan's shop. We saw some really good numbers. And I think even they were a little surprised of the numbers that it put out with that exhaust system. And again, we're sold. So that's why I think for this bike, we're gonna use it. I kind of hate you, Ebe, for this because I don't want to make the twin of your bike. So now you call dibs on this exhaust system. I don't know if we're going to use it on my bike. We'll see. I don't know what you guys think I should be using on that M1000 RR that we have on the Motor Million M1000 RR. And put them in his comment section. I'll read it. Maybe I'll reply to some of you guys. But these guys are doing all the work. I'm going to get this out. Let's weigh it. And then let's start getting back on the bike. Guys, did I tell you how well balanced this exhaust is? Look at this thing. I got it all on there. And I left the wrapping on there just to give a fair advantage to the stock exhaust system that was on this bike. Even though it was a full Krapovich titanium system, not like a full race system, but it's still full titanium. It was 17.8 pounds. And this thing weighs only at 7.5 pounds. That's 10.3 pounds lighter, which is quite impressive. I know when Ebe does his S1000 RRs, it's even more impressive because the difference is around like 16 pounds or so, because those bikes don't come with the same exhaust system as this bike does. But I think that's pretty satisfactory. Let me show you guys something else. I promise next time you come back It's going to have an exhaust on it. We get a question about people saying stainless or titanium. So number one is the biggest difference is if it's the same exhaust system, it's usually the weight. It's not the titanium or the stainless that gives the power. What gives power is, if you take a look at this, I don't know if it's going to come out on the camera, but these pipes are not exactly the same diameter from top to bottom. If you see, it's like an egg shape right here, and the shape keeps shifting, and it's what gives it the power characteristics. So Aero and Akrapovic and other reputable brands out there spend a lot of money doing R&D on these things to getting these things right. These are just not bent tubes, because if that was the case, there's a lot of companies that can just bend tubes and stick them in there and say that they have an exhaust system on a bike. So this is what separates a good exhaust system versus another exhaust system. These are, you know, I guess people might not notice these things, but next time you get a header in your hands, especially Akrapovic and Aero exhaust, you'll see that it has different shapes and forms on the headers, and that's what really gives the power characteristics. Because again, people say, why don't you cut that exhaust and keep the titanium header and just run like a 3/4 system? I know none of the good brands like Akrapovic and Aero makes that kind of stuff, because I don't know, I don't think that's the right way to do it, let's say, on these bikes. But this is why we change the headers, even if it's titanium, to these other headers, because again, this is what gives the power characteristics to these motorcycles. And I can't come and tell you exactly what this does, but it does something, and you could probably put it on a dyno and double check and do the things around, and I'm sure someone knows why it's like this. And if you know it, put them in the comments below, and I'm sure we'd like to hear that from you guys. But again, let me get back to this. Next time you guys cut back in, this is going to have an exhaust on it. So we're putting our DHU radiator guards together. They're foam pads. We're going to cut these to length. I think this is one of my least favorite things to do. We just put some foam around here, around the edge, so that if it contacts anything, it kind of cushions against it. It also, if this ever vibrates, it kind of dampens the sound so that you don't hear it buzzing. But we got to do what we got to do. I got to cut these strips and help Zach out, because I bet you Zach doesn't like doing it as much as I do it either. There goes the yellow filth, as Eve calls it. And I'm putting a little bit of alcohol just to clean the surface, because sometimes these exhaust systems, they use like a lubricant before they ship it out to you. And since the sticker is actually just a little larger than the one that comes from Aero, I'm just cleaning it to make sure that there's no oils in their place. And that's pretty good. There you go. Looks pretty good. I like it. The blue does match this blue right here. And can I make a comment? Thank God it doesn't say M on it, because I counted, I forgot how many it was. It was too many, 21 or 22 or 23 M's on this bike. And I'm on a mission to DM my bike, but I don't know. Eve kind of laughs at me when I say that. There's one M that's really cool though. It's this M that's etched on the frame. But I've started DMing my bike. Maybe he'll let me DM his bike. No? Okay. Well, I think we're gonna start this up. First, I'm gonna wipe it down with WD-40 so that it gets rid of all the fingerprints and all the oils that we put on there. And if you think the WD-40 is another oil that we're putting on, it's actually, I think it's a degreaser and not an actual lubricant.
Let's see.
Impressive. Impressive indeed.
Guys, now that we heard that exhaust, we're super motivated. We just want to finish this. Michael's installing the Alpha Racing quick shifter. Then I'm going to try to give him a hand to put that 520 conversion kit. And meanwhile, while he's doing that, I'm getting the tail tidy kit on this bike so that we can get this bike and ride it, because I was by the door making sure that we open the door so we get some air in this place. And I don't know if it's the echo in here or whatever it is. This thing sounds like a supercar.
It does. Sounds like a GP bike. I mean, this is the best sounding exhaust on the K67 machines. Well, this is called something else, isn't it, Manny?
This is technically a K66.
K66.
But
yeah.
even on the S, it's a higher pitch than what I remember on the S1000s. But it's not a bad higher pitch. Like I said, it sounds like a supercar of some sort. But it sounds really good, and that's what I really liked about this exhaust. It sounds like nothing I've heard before on one of these machines.
I agree.
And it didn't disappoint this time either. Guys, it's almost 3 a.m. We're barely awake, but the bike is finished. And it's all for the joy of Michael getting to ride motorcycles, because he doesn't have a beautiful K67 himself, so that he has to drag us on to riding the bikes. But all jokes aside, we're really tired, but the bike is finished. It looks better, it sounds better. We got our rear floating rotor on, our NRC tail tidy kit. This exhaust, I really don't know how it's coming out on camera, but this exhaust, I remember the first time we heard it, I think it was last year when we were doing the HPX. It sounded really good, and I think we were debating on how it sounds. I said it has a higher pitch, but I think Michael nailed it. He said that I think the biker's freer revving than a K67 S1000 RR, so it's just the rev go up and down so much faster that it just sounds crazy. And also that exhaust of the sound, that it's, I don't know, it's a deeper sound. It's something that you don't hear from these bikes. But I think we're done. Let's start this up. Let's hear it one more time. We're gonna say good night to you guys, or good morning, or good afternoon, whenever you guys are watching this. On the next video, you guys can probably expect us to be riding this. Hopefully we're a little more awake. And see you guys. Thanks for watching.